Good afternoon. I greet to Dr. Landrawina and my fellow friends. Today we are from the first group to present our topic, which is integrity issue and challenges regarding on sexual harassment. My name is Olivia Elsie and my fellow members are Nicole Ubu Matthew, Alicia Laing, and Muhammad Faris. For my part, I will explain one ethic-related incident reported regarding on sexual harassment news, which is misconduct or immorality behavior at the workplace. In private sector, the first incident is regarding on a woman who is a dance instructor, Kirkian, had been sexually harassed by her boss. To begin with, her boss told her to call him as a master and he called her as a dog slave, supposedly to show the kind of respect between them. She is told to do a nonsensical instruction to repeat herself that she is her boss dog and need to 100% listen to him. She was also told to update him on what she was doing and wherever she was going, as well as wish him every time woke up in the morning. Sexual misconduct was just not restricted to a person physical at the workplace but also online. In this case, Kirkian and her boss were communicating through WhatsApp conversation and Zoom meetings, where her boss was sending sexual texts and talking about indecent things. Next is in public sectors. There is incident regarding on school teachers conducting period spot checks towards students. To begin with, Ustazah conducted a period spot check in the toilet because she did not believe Aisha was on her period as she needed to skip prayers. She was very shocked that Ustazah reached between her legs to check for a menstruation pad. There is also a teacher who is teaching physical and health subjects, which students need to change their clothes. However, Priyanka and her friends did not do so as they were in their period pad. The teacher touched to check her friend's menstruation pad without consent, but Priyanka refused and wanted to write a complaint, but ended up getting 15 demerit. The third incident is regarding on Sabah State Government senior officer harassing 3 female employees on social media. It started when a lewd content on a Facebook post by a senior officer which showed 3 of his female co-workers. It is feel humiliating, demeaning, and disparaging if someone call you with a rude name. A former employee, Carolina, who was resigned due to a hostile work environment. She said if any employees who work at a wildlife rescue unit refuse to send daily selfies in the WhatsApp group, they will be called out by their senior officer. The officers comment with inappropriate statements toward their selfies.
The main issue that I will be discussed today on integrity is sexual harassment. Sexual harassment can be defined in the form of unwelcome act or behavior that are deemed offensive, vulgar, and even humiliating the victim. This act can be occurred at workplace area, education institutions, home, or even any public places. Also, sexual harassment in the workplace can be defined on unwanted touching, improper comments or joke to someone they're trying to get in returns of promotions. For example, in order them to get a promotion, a certain promotions, they make an in return of sexual harassment. Next, the other related issues on sexual harassment, which is gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is when a person or a group of people is treated unfairly of their gender, between male and female. Gender discrimination occurred when the individual is treated differently in terms of education and physical activities, given an assignment, grading, and other aspects due to the different gender. For example, the female get the highest mark compared to males, or the physical activities by given to the male compared to the females, and many more. Gender discriminations conduct in terms of verbal or physical that is based on sex or gender someone, which is not welcome and constitute with the sexual harassment. In general, sexual harassment and gender discrimination is one of the global issues of integrity. By then, the government have come with a code of ethics, which is rule of conduct, that we learn from the other countries that have been practiced this, and it was an effective ways to solve the problems of sexual harassment or gender discrimination.
Next, we move to the actors. I'll be presenting some of the responsibilities, effort done, and can be taken by them. On top of the list is the government. The existing law is inadequate to combat the issue of sexual harassment. In response to this, the long-delayed anti-sexual harassment bill should to be tabled in the parliament and need to be passed immediately. This bill will set sexual harassment standards for all sectors, and independent oversight commission will be established to handle the cases. The second actors is the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development. Currently, they are conducting detailed evaluation and improvement to the anti-sexual harassment bill by considering all inputs from the stakeholders. They also need to invigorate efforts in raising awareness through various campaigns to educate the public about this issue. Thirdly, the Education Ministry has issued a circular to all state education departments that emphasize the prohibition of period spot check. However, this is not a long-term solution for this issue. First, teachers should be given continuous training to raise the sensitization of gender equality concern. Next, a clear reporting and investigation procedure must be designed and strict disciplinary action need to be taken against school staff or teachers who commit the misconduct. Next, one of the main Suhakam function is to provide assistance to the government in formulating any policies in relation to education about sexual harassment. For example, in 2019, Suhakam supported the reintroducing civic education at primary and secondary school levels. Furthermore, Awam, WCC Penang, SWWS, and Tenaga Nita are some of the active NGOs that are addressing this issue. Firstly, these NGOs are strongly influenced the government to table the anti-sexual harassment bill. Next, they are utilizing all social media platforms and video conferencing for creating awareness on sexual harassment. These NGOs also provide a responsive hotlines for any complaints and give moral support to the sexual harassment victims. The last actors are the employers and HR department. Firstly, employers can establish sexual harassment manual and post it on the company website. Providing training also helps employees to well recognize all forms of sexual harassment. Last but not least, HR and employees can take temporary altering approaches as soon as complaints are received while working on the case's investigation. This may include transferring the victim department and rescheduling the victim working time.
Thank you, Elisa, for explaining on the actors involved. I, Muhammad Parijana, will explain on the impacts of sexual harassment. Firstly is the threatening of the physical and mental well-being. As for the mental well-being, it will develop psychological effects such as trauma, phobias, suicidal thoughts, and many more. This is crucial, especially among adolescents, that they will develop some kind of childhood abuse, and this will affect their brain development. Non-physical effects as well. Dr. Nekashiyama mentioned that the process of somatizing, where the body stays in the state of hyper-alertness, will cause headaches, muscle aches, and higher in blood pressure. Secondly is to disrupt the sense of security and safety. This prohibits the person to practice their freedom. For example, the Sabah State Wildlife Officer had caused an uproar by calling the 3 women with female dog slurs. This causes an issue whereby on how the state government handles the women's welfare. Eventually, people will be afraid of the unknown and will be very concerned on how their loved ones could soon become a victim. Sexual harassment can also become the root of more severe consequences such as the occurrence of gender discrimination. This will cause the rise of sexual assault, murder, and rape. As an example, the hashtag Make School a Safer Place campaign started when the victims or school students reported based on their past experiences. Thirdly is the impact on the organization's productivity and image. Employee retention, hiring, and recruiting is essential for a company. This is because according to the American Psychological Association in 2018, around 48% of job seekers are uninterested for a company that has sexual harassment problems. For the current employees, this will lead to low performance, absenteeism, disciplinary issues, and high rate of turnover. It also occurs as the employee tries to do whatever it takes to maintain her employment status. Sexual harassment has also caused financial repercussions. For example, sexual harassment has brought into legal cases whereby a United States human resource company known as ERC had reported that the average legal suits would cost around $75,000 to $125,000.
In conclusion, the act of sexual harassment is a disrespectful manner. Integrity actually encompasses adherence to strong moral and ethical behaviors which truly direct people to act with honor and respect. It requires cooperation and outstanding approaches by all actors and also the public, especially women. There should be a total zero tolerance towards sexual harassment in the first place so that all actors and public are directing together towards safe, healthy living and working, studying environment. That's all from our group. Thank you.